Welcome to Brave Together Parenting, an empowering and truly helpful podcast for the parents of children with disabilities and all unique needs. What would you say is most important to a dad? If you could sit down to dinner with a dad whose son just got a diagnosis or daughter, what would you say, like right now, what's most important for you to do or not to do is this?
Gosh, that's a good question. I think a few things. One, not lose hope, because there is a lot of hope out there. I think to stay engaged, it can be easy to sort of maybe retreat, hide. And I remember being early on wondering, do we, broadcast it? Do we share what's going on? People really want to support. People really want to help. And it's important to stay engaged and be engaged, for your spouse too, because, it's one that mom can't take on her own too, and needs an engaged husband. So, I think be engaged with the process, be engaged with others. And, I think like, you mentioned taking care of your mental health. I think, yes, practicing self-care habits is important, taking care of yourself and finding ways to, support your partner and together to find ways to ensure both of you, are taking care of yourselves. Because, with a strong sense of self, it's much easier to be there, to be available for your child.
I like that. I like how you said that. That's so true. It really is true. If we're not taking care of ourselves, we're going to spiral into burnout or depression or despair. But if we have a strong sense of self, then we are going to be better able to show up for each other and for our family. Thanks so much for listening today. Do us a favor and leave us a review and a rating so that this podcast can get into the ears and the hearts of more and more moms. Did you know that Brave Together Parenting podcast is an extension of our nonprofit organization, We Are Brave Together? We Are Brave Together serves an international community of caregiving moms, offering support groups that are virtual and in-person, educational resources, and low-cost weekend retreats. And we have published our first anthology of caregiving stories entitled Becoming Brave Together, Heroic, Extraordinary Caregiving Stories from Mothers Hidden in Plain Sight. It will encourage and validate every parent caregiver. To join us today, go to wearebravetogether.org. Our support and sisterhood awaits you. Brave Together Parenting Podcast is for entertainment and education purposes only. It's not a substitute for professional care and should not be relied on for medical or mental health advice. The use of any content on our podcast, links, show notes, or on our website is to be done at your own personal risk. Please seek out a professional to assess your own medical or mental health concerns, because we are all beautifully complex and the content of this podcast is for a broad audience.